To Thailand now, where several people have also been reported dead after the quake. Dozens of building workers are also missing after a high-rise under construction collapsed. Rescuers have been filmed pulling a person from the mountain of rubble. Many workers are still feared trapped under the debris, with around 15 thought to be still alive. It took just a matter of seconds for the 30-story building to topple when the quake struck on Friday. DW reporter Tommy Walker is following this story from Bangkok. Tommy, we've just seen images of a worker being pulled from the rubble. What more can you tell us about the rescue operation at the site of that building collapse?
Well, the rescue operation's ongoing. There's at least 10 cranes that are trying to strip away this debris, this concrete, to try and find survivors. Now, the images that you're seeing of the person that's been removed from the rubble, I've just had a conversation with one of the lead Thai rescuers, and he said that that person has unfortunately passed away. We're still waiting for further confirmation on that. There has been a fluctuate with the numbers of how many people are missing. There's been a mix-up and certainly a confusion somewhere with the Thai authorities and other groups about how many people are actually missing under the rubble. However, the figure that everyone is saying is that at least 8 people have died. I'm not even sure if that's included the person that's been taken from the rubble. So it's a bit confusing at the moment. We're trying to establish the facts as much as we can. However, the operation is ongoing. As you can see behind me, it's a rigorous and tough operation. Lots of concrete, glass, brick. There's obviously unstable wreckage there for these rescuers, hundreds of rescuers trying to get through and trying to find vital signs of people. One thing that this lead rescue worker did tell me is that he's praying for a miracle if anyone comes out of there alive.
Clearly a dynamic and dramatic situation there on the ground. What's the atmosphere in Bangkok at the moment? How are people coping?
The atmosphere here on the site next to this collapsed building, I mean, it's been quite somber. I mean, we've had family members and relatives and friends of the people under the rubble coming and going since last night, and really emotional, visibly emotional, and it's been quite a muted sort of atmosphere. In Bangkok itself. There was a shock yesterday when this earthquake happened and the impact it had, because there was buildings swaying and there was debris falling, and people were really worried and just surprised that it happened in Bangkok, considering that this earthquake had hit Myanmar, hundreds of kilometers away. So yesterday was a bit of a shock. Today there's been a muted atmosphere, but right now where I am, it's just desperation. We need, authorities, the rescuers, they're trying to find people, and that's what everyone's waiting for, and we're praying that something good comes out of it. But like I said, the lead rescuer is saying at this time that it's going to take a miracle. So,
Tommy, you just referenced Myanmar, and of course the situation there far more serious. What can you tell us about the aftermath there, and of course the international aid coming in?
I mean, the destruction in Myanmar has been far worse than this one building site collapse here in Bangkok and the swaying buildings. I mean, there's been temples, pagodas, bridges even that have collapsed and turned into dust and brick. There's been, from going by reports, at least over 1,000 people that have been killed, according to the Myanmar's military administration. That number is likely to rise. Myanmar is in the middle of a brutal 4-year-long civil war. The military administration, which insists it should lead the government, is at war with, lots of different ethnic and resistance groups around Myanmar. The military administration have requested for international aid. However, it remains to be seen of how this gets in, because will they allow these resistance groups, who control a significant amount of the country, will they allow these resistance groups to bring in that aid? Will they condone it? Will they endorse it? And it goes both ways. So it remains to be seen of what aid can get in there. There's reports today that India and China have sent in aid as well. So it's a complex situation in Myanmar, and they need the resources. They're a lot less resourced than somewhere like here in Thailand.
That's a DW reporter Tommy Walker in Bangkok. Thanks, Tommy.
Thanks.